Hey, if you want to win more clients and make more sales, then you need to understand how sophisticated your audience is before you start to communicate with them. And what do I mean by their level of sophistication? Well, I'm not talking about whether they're, drinking Courvoisier or eating beluga caviar. I'm talking about how sophisticated are they to the marketing messages that are out there. Okay? Because you want to create a marketing message that is unique and does two things: captures the heart and convinces the mind. Okay, let me give you a super easy example. Let's say you wanted a pickup truck, and you wanted a pickup truck that could, smash through the mud and haul a trailer up like a mountain pass in the snow. What truck would you get for that? You have no idea, right? Because every single truck ad I've ever seen has those elements, right? The smashing through the mud and four-wheel drive and the hauling the heavy thing up a hill, right? So whether it's Ram, Ford, GM, Toyota, they all have the same ads. My truck is over there, and I didn't buy it because of those commercials, right? Because the commercials are all the same. And it was crazy. I was watching the Super Bowl and I saw one of those ads of a truck carrying a heavy thing up a hill. I was like, man, what a waste of money, because this ad doesn't stand out. They're all saying the same thing. And that's how sophisticated your market is. Your market is sophisticated enough to say, yeah, I've seen this before. All right. So why did I buy my Ram? I bought the Ram, well, for two reasons. One that it speaks to, and one that it doesn't speak to. Okay. Let's talk about the one that it speaks to first. They're a big differentiator. What does a Ram have? A Ram has a Hemi engine. Only Ram has a Hemi, okay? That's their big differentiator. All that means is that the cylinder head in the engine, it has a hemispherical head on it, which creates more surface area, so you get more compression against blah, 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 all this math stuff. But but it's legit, right? When I looked at it, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So that convinced the mind. So what that tells me is that this engine with this hemispherical shaped piston is going to get more horsepower, more torque with better fuel efficiency. Okay. And so that's one of the reasons why I bought it. Thing is Ford, just like it can haul a heavy thing up a big mountain, just like the Ram can, Ford has its own big differentiator. Ford has what it calls the EcoBoost, right? EcoBoost works on a different system than the Hemi. What the EcoBoost does is that engine just, clicks along at like with using 4 cylinders when it's just, tooling around the city or whatever. But when it's time to haul that heavy thing up the mountain, then it goes into turbo. Okay. Then it goes into turbo mode and you get all the power in the world. Right. So what it says is Ford is saying that this is the better engine because it's super efficient with gas when you don't need a lot of power. But when you need the power, well, fuel efficiency goes out the window, but you don't care because you've got all the power in the world. Okay. So that's the one reason I bought it, because I like the Hemi engine. Second is because we use our truck for two things. We use it for hauling the horses around and hauling hay and lumber and all that stuff. So I need the power of a truck. I need 4-wheel drive because we're in Canada. I need the 4-wheel drive for the snow. But the suspension on the Ram, and this is something that they should probably talk about, because so many truck owners don't use it to haul horses. They don't use it to haul lumber. They just use it to look cool, right? And with the Ram, it has a coil spring in the back, which is kind of soft and bouncy. So when I drive it on the gravel road here, it's a nice smooth ride. It handles the bumps really well. Whereas my neighbor, my buddy, his Ford, oh my God, it has a spring suspension or whatever, and oh my gosh, it's like, I would hate to have kidney problems because you'd be peeing blood. Like, it's just so rough. All right. And so those are two things that they don't talk about, which they should. And the reason that is because the Ram, I've got a horse in front of me making foul noises. That's Diaz there. Yeah. And so what's so good about the Ram is that it's a super comfortable truck to drive. So when we go to our timeshare and we go on vacations and stuff, we always take that because it's a really, pleasant vehicle to drive. But when we haul the horses, the back end rides pretty darn low because of that coil suspension, right? So depending on what you want your vehicle for, whether it's more for hauling or more for, hauling and pleasure, or more just strictly for pleasure. And again, so many trucks are using just for pleasure. Ram should really be talking about that coil spring that makes for such a comfortable ride. Anyways, my point of this is you need to Understand what your audience has seen, what they've heard. Look to your competition, look and see what they're saying, and ask yourself, are they capturing the heart, and are they convincing the mind? And if they're convincing the mind, how are they doing it? Like, do they have an EcoBoost? Do they have a Hemi? Do they have a coil or spring suspension? Like, what do they have? Okay. What is different about them that makes them stand out? And then you want to ask yourself, what am I doing? What is my big promise? That is, first, capturing the heart. But it's really easy to make a promise, right? It's hard to deliver on it. But if you've got something that will convince the mind, then you're a lot more likely to get that curiosity going and them to look into you more, look and do their research and prove that you're the real deal. So that's your homework for today, is ask yourself that in your marketing campaign, what am I doing to capture the heart? And if that is big enough, then what am I doing to convince the mind? What is the thing that sets me apart? My thing is that I can help you win more clients and make more sales. How do I do that? With empathic marketing. Okay, that's my big differentiator. Nobody else does empathic marketing. They can't, because I own the trademark on it, right? And whether you believe in empathic marketing or not, there are those that will and those that won't. But the point is that you have something, right? Because there is going to be a percentage of the audience that does buy into, your big thing that makes you different. And so you want to make sure you have it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe, like, follow, whatever you need to do to see more great videos from Xena, the Wonder Horse here. She's not too impressed with this video at all. But, and then Nellie, where's Nellie? Nellie's over there. Something. Let's come around here. Where's Nellie? There's Nellie. And then over here, we've got Coco. That's the goat. Anyways, guys, we can give you a tour of the farm later. Like I said, got to go, but make sure you subscribe, like, follow, and we'll see you in the upcoming videos. Okay, bye-bye.